Welcome back, class. I'm your guide Matt here on Y Caliber, and we are playing DoubleCross.
All together now. That was good.
You guys didn't tell me we were doing that. Thanks.
We're being GM tonight by Steven Seagal, noted author. And
Yeah.
we've got Feral Knights with us. We have Jared, the other Matt, and Noda will be playing with us tonight. And for the duration of this campaign, at least.
Mike has abandoned us forever.
Yes.
I was kind of hoping we would start out by saying, we're playing Edge of the Empire. And then clearly...
Oh, no, that's me.
No, that's okay.
We do
Huck
that for
can
shout-out.
edit the rap in.
We'll do that. So yes, DoubleCross is the name of the game. And these are our characters. We've taken the time to make sure that they're all as authentically Japanese as possible because this is a Japanese role-playing game. Except for other Matt.
Konnichiwa.
No, you didn't try hard enough. Where's your kanji?
Konnichiwa.
that's
We're
awful.
going to get banned from YouTube.
We are.
So, what brings us here tonight, Steve?
We are making characters. God, I haven't GM'd in like several months now. I don't know what to do. All right.
Roll for initiative.
Spin us a yarn.
All right. Well, DoubleCross is a game that is basically set in modern day. Of course, it's set in Japan. The basic idea of it is that 20 years ago, from the time of the game, and a certain event occurred which almost no one paid attention to, but that event irrevocably changed the world, and it spread a virus, or rather what looks like a virus, across the entire world. And 80% of the world's population is now infected by what is called the renegade virus. However, most people don't know about the renegade virus and don't even know that they're infected by it. However, some people have...
It's like herpes.
Whoa.
That got dirty.
Yeah, he's right. That's what you learned on Y Caliber today, guys.
80% of the planet is infected with herpes.
Wow.
The mouth
We
kind.
learn.
Sleep tight, everybody.
What's that itching?
Post in the comments below.
It's an informal social experiment, just a test.
Oh, terrible.
Okay, so there's this virus, but how does Wesker play into this?
Well, that's how we're going to find out when we start playing the game.
Okay. I trust you.
Right. I'm sure Wesker will show up. I feel it. I know he will. But anyway, the Renegade virus awakens people, or rather, people awaken to the Renegade virus. Either way, they turn into what are known as overids, and overids are basically people who are not human anymore, and they have, while they look human, they have superhuman powers. Every time I describe this as a superhero game, people think spandex, so it's not quite that. More like X-Men, where they're not in spandex. That was a horrible comparison. Why did I say that?
I was about to say, man.
All right, but overids, yes. So our team here are all overids, and they will begin character generation by each one picking a breed. A breed is basically how many strains or syndromes that you have of the renegade virus. There are 3 different types. There's a pure breed, a crossbreed, and tri-breed, and you can probably guess what they are just from the name. Pure breed has 1 syndrome, crossbreed has 2 syndromes, and a tri-breed has 3 syndromes. Pure breed gets benefits to just the 1 syndrome it has. Crossbreed is sort of the default, and tri-breed can't really do as much with a single power, but they get to select from 3 different power sets. So
They're min-maxers.
they are. So with that in mind, I guess we'll begin by selecting breeds. So kanji person number 1 there with the glasses.
Yukinari Ishizuka.
Right. What is your breed?
I have chosen the breed Morpheus, and it'll be a pure breed Morpheus.
That's a syndrome Morpheus.
Yes.
You're just messing up the syntax and the terms. We can't play the game now, I'm sorry.
Too bad.
All right, Edge of the Empire.
Now we're going back to Shadowrun.
No.
But you're such a cruel GM.
No, it's GURPS time.
Oh no!
Anyway, so my
So next 3
syndrome.
weeks, character generation.
My syndrome is Morpheus.
Right.
Morpheus is the ability to turn sand into anything you want, pretty much.
Yes, it is essentially kind of an alchemist sort of power. The little comic thing that comes with the book shows the Morpheus girl changing her rosary into a gun. So it also has certain sand abilities where you like block attacks with sand and crap. I don't know.
And he gets to wear those little sunglasses that just clip on his nose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
The pince-nez or whatever they're called.
I'm going to erase the armbar of those glasses that I photoshopped onto this picture. Maybe darken the lenses a bit more.
Well, if you want to click the setup button on the lower right of the sheet, then you can go ahead and fill those details in.
Like they were mirror shades?
Oh.
Trench coat time.
So breed pure. I'm not a renegade being.
No one here is a renegade.
And my first syndrome is Morpheus. There we go.
And that's all you need.
Okay.
For now.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right,
There we
you.
go. Pure Morpheus.
Who?
You.
Me?
Ah,
You.
I'm confused.
This is going to get confusing.
Yeah,
and
well,
also-
you're the one that picked the name.
Yeah.
All right. Sakuraba-san. What breed syndromes are you playing?
I'm going to go with your suggestion of Angel Halo and Newman.
Okay, so that'd be a crossbreed.
Newman.
Yeah.
Newman.
Hello,
oh,
Newman.
man.
Yeah, that would be Neumann, actually.
Well, whatever.
He's gonna be that guy.
Pretty much.
Neumann.
All right.
Oh, an extended canon.
Well, the expanded universe.
Get out.
We're not there yet. Give it a couple weeks.
The after he fell into the Tharlak.
Aw, terrible. Moving on. Angel Halo is basically a photokinetic. They control light. They also can do a lot of things with that. They shoot lasers, create illusions, can do stealthy stuff, and a lot of stuff, actually. Newman is kind of the smarty pants one. It makes you super intelligent. So basically, Noda is going to be shooting lasers while doing it very smartly. So Noda, you can go ahead and fill those in. Kazuya. Right? Yeah, Kazuya. What are you playing?
I was playing a crossbreed. That's the 2-1. With Salamandra and Hanuman.
Nice.
Salamandramon.
Salamandermon.
That sounds like a Digimon.
Sounds like.
But you like Digimon.
I do.
Alright. Salamandra basically controls temperature, which is important to note because it's not just generating fire, it can also generate ice. Hanuman, meanwhile, is basically kind of sound waves and super speed. Also some other weird stuff. It's actually a very varied power set.
It is. It's cool.
Fumihiro Hishikawa, what are you doing?
Ugh.
He doesn't know.
I'm playing a crossbreed.
No.
No.
Stop it.
I thought we were role playing, guys. Come on. It's like the most emotion I've had in my voice in the 6 months we've been doing tabletop.
That's true.
It's the
Go
dwarf
back to
voice
my
all over
monotone.
again.
Well done.
I miss the dwarf voice.
Maybe we'll go back to it
Maybe.
someday.
Well, I'm playing a Bela crossed with an Orcus.
No one can understand a word of what you just said.
I heard it.
That's
It's Baylor
understandable.
crossed with an Orcus.
Yeah, Baylor crossing the woods.
It's terrible.
So you could say that I'm the master of my domain.
Oh,
That's
you
true.
could.
Baylor controls gravity and also certain spatial things and I think some time. And then Orcus controls basically all of their surroundings. They kind of inject particles into things and move it telekinetically. Bleh. And so you can tell that Ko's kind of in control of his domain, a master of his domain.
That's right. Frequently.
In other words, he's a cheating bastard.
So he bends time and space?
He bends
Yeah.
time and space.
Pretty much.
Time and space.
I'm effectively a god to you people.
Did we mention that Neumann is the sort of hyper-intelligence one?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right. So you can go ahead and set that up with the setup button when you click your token, lower right. Yes. And Kasumi, what are you playing?
Pure breed Chimera.
Chimera. Not quite the most fucked up of the syndromes. It's Exile, but
Yeah.
Chimera basically kind of, as the name suggests, if you know what a Chimera is, they basically just kind of shift their body to basically take on bestial traits. They can do it kind of piecemeal, or they can do a complete therianthropy. It's almost like the powers named that. All right. Nice. Okay, so we are all set up there. Now we move on to determining stats and crap like that. By the way, when you
Crap.
what?
Did you break?
I might have overridden your stuff.
You did. You did.
Well, now it's canon.
That's okay. I'll fix it.
Now it's canon. Yukinori is an assassin.
And I'm gonna do it again.
All right,
Sorry about that.
Spoilers.
All right, so we've selected Syndrome. We'll do the work and cover in a moment. What was I going to say? It couldn't be an aside of something like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we'll skip it. But now we do stats. Oh, that's right. There are 3 different types of character generation. The first type is just to make, or rather pick a pre-made character, one of the 12 that come with a book. We're not going to do that because, well, we're special snowflakes and we deserve to have our own characters.
We are the specialists.
We're the specialists. Second version, which is what we're doing, is called Construction. Basically, that's kind of like the holding hand, not really giving you all the options that you possibly can version. There's another version, though, that's called Full Scratch, where it basically just gives you like XP, and then you build it however you want. But I determined that it'd be just easier just to do the Construction for now, because that's easiest. Are you sure kawaii means cute?
I think technically it means like pitiful or pathetic, you know.
We're doing a cultural translation, not a literal translation.
All right. How stats are determined in construction mode are basically that there is a list here that I have. It's a chart, and I go by what syndromes you have selected. And if you're a pure breed, I basically just double the stats that are listed. And if you're a crossbreed, then I just add the 2 together. If you're a tri-breed, then it's also added together, except for that you ignore your third type. It's like the weak vestigial syndrome. So, going in order, we got Yukinari first. He's a pure breed Morpheus. That means he starts with a 2 in the body stat, a 4 in the senses stat, 0 in the mind stat, and a 2 in the social stat.
0 in mind?
Yes.
Man. Okay, so body was 2.
Mm-hmm.
Senses was 4.
Yes.
Mind is 0, and social was what?
2.
2. I thought it was 2, 4, 1, 2. Shows what I know.
Well, now at this point, you receive 3 points that you can spend to raise the stats. However, you cannot start with a 0 in any stat, so you have to spend at least 1 on mind. The other 2 points you can spend however you want.
Okay.
While you decide that, we'll move on to you. The other you? No, that other you.
I don't get it.
Just say Sakuraba.
Sakuraba, I know.
We're gonna find out that Sakuraba has a sister named Me.
It'd be this Gan and that Gan all over again. All right, so he or she is a crossbreed Angel Halo and what was it? Newman?
Yeah.
There was some other pronunciation I heard.
Neumann?
Neumann? All right. All right, so adding those together, you end up with a 0 body,
No.
3 in senses, a 4 in mind, and a 1 in social.
Your body is not ready.
It isn't.
Did you just say Totoro?
Total nerd.
Oh.
No. Now, you also get 3 points, but again, you can't start with a 0 in any stat, so you have to put 1 into body, and the other 2 can be spent however you want. Next up, Kazuya.
This is a lot less messed up than Night Wizard.
Goddamn Night Wizard.
I think you can say that about most things in life.
Pick both of your elements. Okay, now here's a weirdly elaborate table that tells you what your stats are. What's going on?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was hilarious.
So yes, I'm Salamandra and Hanuman.
Right, so you start with a 3 in body,
Nice.
a 1 in senses,
Uh-huh.
a 2 in mind, and a 2 in social.
Ooh.
All kind of average stats, so you
Right.
can spend your 3 points absolutely freely.
Is there a
Unique.
stat cap at character generation?
Cap, yeah,
No.
that's what I was wondering.
No cap.
And what is the scale that we're looking at here with attributes? Like, is there a given, like, this is what's average for a person, or...
No, not really. I think there might... I don't think there's actually a listed scale, but essentially 10 is like... Because, I mean, how they do it in canon, the DoubleCross canon, is that if you're an overid, you're already insanely strong. Like, a human has to take you out with explosives, and a lot of them.
Okay.
So you're pretty much like on a completely different scale from humans. So there's really no measurement of that.
Right. Okay.
All right. Next up is Fumihiro. Baylor
I
Norcus?
did mine.
What? Did you write them down?
Maybe, but please, tell me.
From like weeks ago. Let me just make sure they're correct, because I might have, let's see, 0, 2, 3, and 3. Yes, you're correct.
Nailed it.
Now you get your 3 points to spend. You have to spend at least 1 in body to raise it, but you can spend the other 2 as freely as you like.
Nailed it.
All right, now Kasumi is a pure breed chimera, so this is going to be ridiculous. You start. We're going in reverse order just to make this more fun. You can start with a 2 social, a 0 mind, a 0 sense, and a 6 body.
Did I mention her body is Reggie?
Damn.
So your 3 points have to be spent in senses and mind, but you can spend that 1 other point in whatever you want.
Also, what do these stats affect?
But basically, I'll go ahead and explain the base mechanics. In DoubleCross, what happens is whenever you make any sort of check, you roll a number of d10s equal to your stat. So if you have a 6 body, you roll 6d10. The thing is that you don't add them together. You take only the highest one that's rolled.
Right.
So basically, the higher the stat, it's just basically the more chance to get a higher number. It's not necessarily that you will be rolling real high.
Okay.
In addition to that, there is a mechanic somewhat akin to what Shadowrun does, where if you roll a 10, you actually explode that die. So you will take that die and re-roll it, and then add 10 to whatever you get. So if you roll 10, you re-roll that, and then if you get a 7, then your total is 17. However, unlike Shadowrun, you can actually lower the number that counts as a critical. So each of you will be getting a power called Concentrate, which lowers your critical value. So basically, if you just use that ability right there, you lower it to 9. So if you roll a 9 or a 10, you re-roll the dice, but you still add 10. Through certain things, like if you're a pure breed, hint hint, you can actually get your Concentrate power up to level 5. And
Concentrate, that's right.
Yes. And then if you use, we'll cover this later, but a Titus, which also removes the cap that Concentrate imposes. Concentrate has a cap of only lowered to 7. But using a Titus lowers your cap to 2. So that lowers your CV to about a... and if you're also over 100% in Encroach, that gives you an extra level. So yeah, your CV is suddenly 3, so you're critically on any roll of 3 or higher.
All right.
Yeah. It gets a little crazy.
I'll probably forget most of this, but I'll try.
That's okay. My super awesome framework that I worked months on will take care of most of this.
Yeah, you've been busting your ass on this.
I really have.
Very nice.
But
I really like the character sheet.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
better than the frickin' just haphazard mess of buttons, right?
If only we'd have one like that for Shadowrun.
If only. But just to use Kasumi's stats for a moment here, I'm just going to roll her body. Giggity.
Indeed.
Baby.
So you can see that her highest roll is 9, but if I'm now going to lower her critical value to 3.
Whoa!
Okay. All right.
What the heck just happened?
Now, can stats also be raised through experience?
Yes, they can.
Oh.
Unlike Edge the Empire.
Yeah. They sort of can, but you just have to get to the top of a thing and purchase the talent that gets you a bonus point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this explicitly lets you spend it directly on stats. So it's just, I think it's like 10 XP per stat raised until you get to like 10, then it becomes 20 XP. Something like that. Okay, so you guys are done with stats?
I think so.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
111. Jesus.
6 body.
Yeah, I was thinking of raising my body to 5, but I didn't want to, dump anything. Come up with, senses 1.
It's okay, I got you covered where senses are concerned. We're a team, we can specialize.
Huzzah!
I found a bug.
What was the bug?
I'm trying to roll my mind, but if I put the crit value to 1, it just errors.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it would roll infinitely and crack.
Yes. Yes, it would.
We didn't tell you that, did we?
No, I'm going to. I'm going to rewrite the critical value system such that it's going to be 2 to 11. 11 because you can actually raise it, the critical value above 10, which means that you just can't crit on a roll.
Nice.
So that'll eliminate the, the whole 1 critical value.
Or leave the 1 in there, and if any of us try to do it, it should slap us. It just lowers our health.
Just a big red text. Nope.
Nope.
All right. Well, the next step is probably going to be the most confusing, but or at least perplexing. It's going to be choosing your cover and your work. Essentially, this is the easy mode way of giving you free skills, and also gives you a single stat bump. Your cover, in terms of what you do, is basically what you do as a day job, but it's not really who you are as a person. It's more just kind of, it's your secret identity, so to speak.
Right.
So it can be anything. It has absolutely no mechanical bearing on anything. So just pick anything that you feel is whatever you want. Yes, exactly.
I picked food critic.
Nice.
And your work doesn't necessarily need to be one of the things in the book. It just needs to kind of fit. Like, I'll just go ahead and do Fumihiro because he already picked his a while ago, which is going to be assassin. Assassin is actually one in the book, and there are a couple of others that are just kind of go the distance. There's like high school student and delinquent and hacker and jack of all trades and blah blah blah. But for assassin, what happens is you get a bump of +1 to your senses. Then you get a free point in the following skills: a point in melee, a point in ranged, a point in info underworld, then 2 points in any ride skill, and 2 points in any knowledge skill. To go ahead and explain how the knowledge and art and all that works in this framework, basically you're going to click the name of the skill, so like ride, and this lets you set any number of custom skills. So it's basically kind of like the powers in Dragon Age. You just define it yourself. Then when you want to roll it, you click the red X, and then it'll ask you from the list of predefined skills, and that's what you select to roll it.
Okay.
Anyone else have a work in mind, or?
I was going to ask you about UGN agent.
Okay. Well, you just want to know what setting-wise they're like?
Yeah.
Basically, to backtrack so that the audience knows, the UGN is basically kind of the quote-unquote good guys of the setting. The UGN stands for United Guardian Network, and they're the people who keep Overids and other people like them, which, there's things called like germs and stuff, which we'll get into, that under wraps. And then I say quote-unquote good guys because they're not necessarily, completely good. They're more lawful. They have no qualms with like erasing people's memories or hacking computers and using their override powers to do so. So yeah, they are strictly defeating threats and keeping overrides secret to avoid mass panic.
So the UGN, they would have like their fingers in a lot of pies, like agents infiltrated in lots of levels of society, right?
A lot of them, yes.
Okay, so my character's cover is detective.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking his work might be a UGN agent.
Yeah, that's perfectly suitable, to be honest. Basically, the agent would be... Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. The detective who basically reports to the UGN on the side, yeah.
Yeah, that's my plan there.
Well, then you have a choice of 4 UGN agents, actually.
Oh boy.
UGN agent A, B, C, D, but the main choice here is what stat you want bumped. It's body, sense, mind, or social, and then you get skills based on that.
Alright, so what happens if I want to boost sense?
Then you get a free point in the following skills. Ranged, perception, RC, which stands for renegade control for the folks at home, which is kind of like the magic stat. It'd be what you use for casting like laser beams and stuff.
Yeah.
Procure, and info UGN.
Okay. I will go with that one then.
Okay, so go ahead and raise your sense up 1, then those skills you get all 1 point in those.
Okay. Not 65, just 6. Don't get too excited. Okay.
65 D10. Rrr.
So the info skills aren't listed in here. They're listed in a separate menu.
Which ones?
Info skills?
Right, you just click the info word, and it'll ask you to like add new, and then you just input UGN, and then you put it at skill of 1.
Okay. And is there a separate name for that type of UGN agent, or is it just all UGN agent?
Technically, it's UGN Agent B, but...
I like technically. Alright, so we open up info, add new, okay, skill name, UGN, bonus 1.
Kazuya, or Kasumi, or Sakuraba, did you have a work in mind? Or something close to work?
I think we already rolled my work a while ago. It was the UGN child.
Oh, right, the child one. Which stat did you want to raise? Was it body?
I think it was. I lost all my notes.
Probably body. Okay, UGN Child A. Well, UGN Childs, for the people at home, are children who, well, they're not children anymore, but they started as kids, and basically they were recruited by the UGN and given training from a very young age. The idea being that they kind of grew into being agents currently, but they also aren't very, like, integrated into society because they knew they were different from a very young age, so. And of course kept in solace in education facilities, I'm sure. Alright, so UGN Child A raises body by 1, and then you get the following skills. You get melee at 2, dodge at 1, RC at 1, and info UGN at 1.
Oh, UGN. Add new.
User in your channel timed out.
Uh-oh.
No.
User entered your channel.
Oh, he's right back.
Oh, he's back.
No.
What happened?
Now you timed out.
Oh well.
Whatever that means.
He was out of time.
Oh.
For my character, though, I was thinking of being an assassin that isn't an assassin anymore. That's how that would go.
It depends on what they're trying to do now.
Trying to pretend to be a normal high school student.
Trying.
Trying, yes.
Well, you could do that one of two ways. You could take the high school student cover and then like an assassin work. So, or you can just be a high school student as a cover and a high school student as a work.
Probably work better the former way.
Okay. I have 2 assassinos in the party. But one's a former assassin. Alright. The assassin work, again, gives you a boost to the senses stat. Then you get the following skills. Melee at 1. Ride of any type at 2. Range of 1. Knowledge of any type at 2. And info underworld at 1.
So melee and ranged at 1.
Yes.
Man, I have to buy a ride skill. I'd be suspicious if the detective is like, taxi! Take me to the homicide!
Well, obviously he's got an underling to drive in places.
Of course.
For
yeah.
Sherlock.
A chauffeur, if you will.
Alright, Jared.
Okay, so my concept, such as it exists, came out of a joke when we were talking about DoubleCross in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing that most of the viewers at home and most of the people here don't know is that one of the popular UGN fronts are maid and butler cafes.
That was actually
my
because
goodness.
he made that joke. That was going to be my cover too.
So there's actually one of the world books that we haven't gotten yet is entirely set in Akihabara. So yeah, so basically the idea was that this character, that Kazuya is a high school student who works, his part-time job is working at one of these front business cafes as a cook, and that's actually like what he really enjoys doing is cooking, and thus is probably going to absolutely hate the food critic.
Nice.
It's going to get better when we get to powers. Trust me. So what are we looking at here?
All right. Let me look.
You'd be
There's
a
obviously
UGN child, right? Is that what you're saying?
not
Oh,
necessarily.
No,
Yeah.
it works for them.
Oh, right.
Well, there's night entertainment.
Pillow arts.
Hey, ladies.
Shop owner. Let's see. I guess artist would count, sort of. Probably not what I had in mind.
Or
Though.
would I be better off taking like the high school student work?
You could go with jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades too, yeah.
And what does that one give you?
It gives you a.
Oh, there's part-timer.
It's,
There's a part-timer work.
Is there?
There is on the list
These
that
lists.
I made.
An all-bite.
Oh, there is.
Autobite
so
Dole.
Autobite those. So there is a part-timer work. Let's see. That gives you a boost to body, melee skill of 1, ride skill of any at 2, will at 1, knowledge any 2, and info internet.
All right, I'll go with that.
He posts on Tokyo Reddit.
2chan.
Please, it's
2chan.
2chan.
That's true.
Futaba
So I get
channel.
+1 to my body rating,
Yes.
and then I get, what was it, 1 melee?
1 melee, 2 ride of any type that you desire, 1 will,
Okay.
2 in any sort of knowledge skill that you'd like, which would probably be cooking or something along that lines. And then info internet.
Okay, so these other ones I'm going to have to do like the hard way.
Yeah.
It was the best way.
So if we need emoji for something, he's the guy to ask us roll the skill roll.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or if we need somebody to do some ASCII art.
Mm-hmm.
He has an elaborate library of table flip icons, notes, whatever.
I think I'm probably playing the oldest character again. Is anyone else not a high school
So
age?
sorry, the knowledge skill was at what? 1?
2.
Okay, and the writing was 1?
The riding was 2, actually.
Oh my god.
OP. I think you probably are the oldest character, yeah.
And then the info was at... What was the info at?
1.
Okay. Whew. Everybody else is like, computers? How do we use those?
Do I punch them?
This is a very, 1996 world, basically, where only geeks know how to use computers.
We're all here on like our tablets.
So basically, when Kazuya needs to use a computer, it's on his fake glasses that have a swirly in the middle of them.
Alright.
He's got the alfalfa hair spike.
Looking for the skills part of this thing. Yeah, the next part is calculating HP and initiative, but haha, it already does it for you.
Nice. My initiative is lucky number 13. My HP is 25.
You have crappy health, but your initiative's really high.
My body's only 2, I guess.
Your body is not ready.
Body's not ready now.
Alright.
Well, Kasumi is the other way around.
Yep.
Alright. Now, in addition to the free skills that you just got, you also get 5 points to spend on any skill that you want. However, there's a thing where if you're going to buy any of the ride, art, knowledge, or info skills, each point that you spend actually counts as 2 levels. So if you start at ride 2 and you spend 1 skill point on it, you can boost that to ride 4 if you want. In addition, you can actually split those points. So if you have ride 2 and knowledge 2 and you spend 1 point, you can boost those to ride 3 and knowledge 3. Whoa!
That's
But of
5
course you
points.
need 5 points, yes.
Okay.
But of course, we also have all these important combat skills that we need.
Yeah.
Like RC, which seems kind of important.
That's only important if you're using RC specific powers. Like if you're going to use like punching people, you can probably just ignore RC, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think I need the point in RC that I have, but it comes with the territory.
But if they
Yeah.
like, if it says skill self or skill syndrome, then that's RC.
No, those
Oh my
for the
God.
powers, syndrome specifically means that it needs to be used with another power of the same syndrome.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Some of the powers say RC. Okay.
Yeah.
How is
I
HP
get you.
calculated?
HP is calculated by body times 2 plus your mind plus 20.
Oh, your mind's part of it. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because my mind sucks.
Initiative is calculated by sense times 2 plus mind. So mind is pretty important.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it would be worth making mind and social a 2-2 split for my character instead of 1-3.
Oh, the important part here, the cap for skills is 4.
Okay. What do you think, GM? Should I do mind 2, social 2 instead of mind 1, social 3?
Well, there is a benefit to having high social, which is that you get more stock points, which lets you buy, like, armor.
Ah. But I can make anything out of sand.
That's true.
But are you
Only
going
if
to
you have the
sleep on
power.
a bed made of sand?
That's true. I do have to get the power for that.
Dust in the wind.
What does the procure skill do again?
Procure is basically, first off, it plays into your stock points as well as
Okay.
social. So basically how stock points are calculated is social times 2 plus procure times 2. But procure also plays a part if you're going to try to, well, procure something in mid-play, where, like, if you will, like, say, well, we need a anti-material sniper rifle for this mission, you roll procure to procure it.
Cool.
That would do it.
So how many
Well, I don't need that much equipment.
how
What's
many
up?
points in a skill do you need to be good at it?
Well, 4 is the cap. As for being good, it's kind of subjective. I mean, what the skill does is basically, like, when you do the roll, it just adds straight on to whatever you roll. So if
Okay.
you have a melee of 4 and you roll a 4, then your total is 8.
Is that the cap ever, or just a character generation?
Just a character generation.
Okay.
Hey Steve,
What's up?
what do you think I should do
For what?
for my stats?
Well, you raised them with the free points, right? So now you're spending on skills.
Oh,
What? What?
What?
What?
Oh,
I don't know. You just made an exclamation that ran away again.
yeah, okay. Skills, that's what I meant by stats.
Well, with a Baylor and Orcus, you're probably going to be using a hell of a lot of RC powers.
Yes.
So I'd just raise it to at least a 2, maybe a 3.
Okay.
Maybe put a point or 2 into, like, will, maybe perception. Dodge is good. Dodge is always good. Procure is also good, but that's kind of lesser importance.
I'm guessing the will skill is something like willpower.
Yes, that's also very important for resisting impulse checks. We'll cover those later.
I better take that point back out of will. No, I'm kidding.
Is there a PDF somewhere for all this?
For what?
For DoubleCross stuff in general?
No.
Alas.
Fear does not allow PDFs.
So ride is 1 point for 1 point, right?
1 point for 2 points.
Okay.
Okay, so I raised my melee to 2. So that's 2 points. Put a point in RC. That's 3 points. 1 in dodge and 1 in perception. So 4 points. And then I split my 5th point between another level of ride and another knowledge.
Wait. You put 2 into melee, 1 into RC, 1 into dodge, and 1 to perception. That's 5.
I can't count. Or did I start with 1 melee?
I think you actually did. Yeah, part-timer starts with 1 melee.
Okay, then I put 1 into melee. Yes, because my melee is 2. I put 1 into melee, 1 into RC, dodge, perception. Yeah.
That works.
See, I was right. I was just wrong about how I was.
What were the base skills for assassin again besides melee and ranged? Sorry to go back a section.
Ride of any type at 2, knowledge of any type at 2, and info underworld at 1.
Thank you very much.
By any type, I mean you actually have to define it.
It's fine.
Do we have anyone handling negotiation?
Not as yet.
Once again, Ko has to be the face.
No, I probably shouldn't, since my guy is a legendary underworld figure.
So, sorry, what's the difference between knowledge and info?
Knowledge is mostly like actual academic knowledge, like you'd put like physics or botany or things that take like studying to do. Info is just kind of like picked up knowledge, kind of expertise almost.
Okay.
It seemed to me like would in that context would be like the ability to find stuff out.
That too. That works also. There's actually a bunch of connections that you can buy with your stock points that raise your info skills. So there's the one that, like, Hero has one, the sample character that's Rumor Mongering Friend, that boosts his info rumors.
Okay.
Yeah, you're probably more right, since it's under social. It's probably more of a being able to collect information.
Yeah.
That looks good, Ko.
He's an expert at negging.
Yeah, especially reneging.
This tilted fedora appears on his head.
So I've just left it as ride any right now because I don't know what I want to put that into, because it
That's fine.
Go the Dodge Scoot.
It relates to certain powers that are part of my syndrome.
That's fine. That's fine.
Ride a horse.
I can
Oh my
probably
God,
make
do
it
it.
worse.
My character could just come in on a horse and just teleport wherever he needs to with the horse.
Those
All right.
are
The
every
horse
battle
will
with this
also
trusty
try the
steed.
food.
I've spent my skills. I've probably done it stupidly. I put 1 into ranged, melee, and dodge, and then I split up my other points. I got a point in knowledge or info underworld and 3 points in ride.
You do need to ride.
Yeah, it's pretty important.
Do you have a ticket to ride?
I have a ticket to ride now. Three of them.
He really likes that train game.
He does. He loves it. But you're supposed to have 3 points in there. Oh
Yeah,
wait, because
yeah.
it's body. So okay, yeah. All right, I got it. So it only rolls 2 die.
Right. It rolls the stat in d10s and then just adds the skill to the total amount, or rather to the highest amount.
Okay.
So when you guys are done, we'll move on to the fun part of selecting powers.
Okay. I'm done.
Okay.
I think I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
Nick Ko is done too. Said his,
Yes. Yes.
And then Farrell.
I'm good.
Okay. Powers then. Hooray, powers. Now the fancy names that the people selected, such as Morpheus and Chimera, aren't just fancy and pretty.
Yes, they are.
Well, they are that, but they also give a selection of about 40, actually, powers, which do various and sundry things that make people explode and die. Interestingly enough, in the Japanese, they're apparently called strains, but whatever.
Do you have to turn and face them? Thank you. Thank you. Did you get it?
Oh, I got it. I'm still deciding whether or not I should make some changes to my stats, but we'll get there.
Based on.
Oh,
All right. All right. So powers. Depending on your breed, you selected whatever number of one, 2, or 3 syndromes. But in addition to that, certain syndrome or breeds get special powers. For instance, the 2 people who picked pure breed.
Yes.
It's just 2, right? Yeah, just 2. Kasumi and Yukinari.
Yukinori.
Whatever.
I wrote it wrong, I think. Yeah, it's Yukinori.
All right. Since they're pure breed and they only get to select the 1 syndrome, they are basically specialized in that. And each power has a maximum level. Usually it's like 3, 5, or 10. Some are kind of weird, but usually it's 3, 5, or 10. But they can exceed that by 2. In addition, each syndrome has special powers that only pure breeds can access. So, Kasumi can access pure breed Chimera powers, and I'm wanting to say Yoshinori, but that's Noda's fault.
Yukinori.
Yukinori gets to access pure breed Morpheus powers. Crossbreeds are basically the default. They don't get any special bonuses, but they get to select from 2 different syndromes. They also don't get any penalties like Tribreed does, but no one's a Tribreed, so. In construction, you actually get a number of free powers. Well, actually, even if you're doing full scratch, you get 2 free powers. You get Resurrect and Warding, which are already on your lists. But in addition to that, since you're doing construction, you guys get Concentrate for free. Concentrate is part of the common pool of powers, which any syndrome and any breed can take. I already explained it earlier, but it basically lowers your critical value. Now, Concentrate, when you take it, has to be specified as a specific type of syndrome power. So for the pure breeds, that's obvious. It's just going to be Morpheus for Yukinori and Chimera for Kasumi. But for everyone else, they need to pick one of their 2 syndromes that it's attached to. Because when they make combos, if they make combos out of, let's say that Kazuya picks Concentrate Hanuman, then that means that if he only makes a combination out of his Salamander powers, he can't use his Concentrate because he needs to use one with a Hanuman power. Now, it's very unlikely that he won't, but, that's just how the rules go. As for picking up other powers, you guys get to select at this time 4 powers from any. It doesn't matter how you spread them out between your syndromes. You can pick 1 from one of your syndromes and 3 from the other, 2 from both, whatever. This does technically include simple powers. I would highly recommend you don't pick simple powers, though.
But I want to be able to make a sandwich.
Too bad.
But it's my whole concept.
Spoilers, I'm giving you 2 special simple powers just to be fun.
Oh, thank goodness.
But that'll be later. For now, pick 4 combat special powers.
Okay, fine then. So how do we add powers? We just click on the syndrome powers list?
Yes, indeed.
I did that and gave me a Stack Overflow when I tried to add a new one.
Damn it.
Yep.
No. Did it for all you?
It did it for me.
Stack Overflow.
Well, y'all just need to upgrade to 64-bit OSs.
I am.
64
I am
bit.
using 64-bit AOS.
Oh, then I'm screwed. So just write them
It's a
down.
technical difficulties thing.
We can just write them in our notes for now, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that was half the point of doing this character generation session, was because I knew there was going to be bugs to fix.
We're the bug testers too?
You are.
Alright, so let's see.
I think I know why that one's Stack Overflowing too, because there's a bunch of frickin' variables that aren't on your token. That's typically what makes it Stack Overflow.
No, I didn't get a Stack Overflow when I added the concentration power.
Then you're just special.
But
you can lord it
it
over the other
also
ones.
didn't show up in my powers list. It's
It did.
when I... Oh, did it? I don't see it.
You just reselect your token.
Oh, there it is. Okay. And the level for that is 1/3?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, as for other powers... My character is going with 100 guns, which transforms matter into firearms. The user decides the weapon's appearance. The user creates and equips a weapon that lasts for the remainder of the scene. Its data is as followed: type ranged, skill ranged, accuracy 0, attack power level +4, and range 30 meters. So I will try to add that in.
Oh, so many powers.
Why so many guns?
Gotta have 100.
I hope the first time you use it, they all just fire bang flags. Oh my god, I have too many powers to pick from.
Well, there is that PDF that my boss Andy Katowski put together, which details the powers that came in like the first of the DoubleCross books in Japan, and those are supposed to be the simple ones that are like really obvious power effects and things like that. You want that PDF again?
Probably.
All right, I can find it.
Okay,
Just got
so
yours.
I'm making concentrate for Salamandra.
Okay.
Now you can. Now it says that you can acquire the power again for your other syndromes,
Yes.
but I'm not going to do that right now because I'm not wasting a power slot for that right now. Instead,
Okay, I posted in the chat box there, Matt.
Thanks.
MP.
okay, instead I'm going to take white heat.
You bet you are.
I don't get it.
That just changes your fists to being stronger. Yes. More punchular.
It improves my punctuation.
I like
After
it.
the duration of the scene, modify the user's fists to the following data: type melee, skill melee, accuracy 0, attack power plus level +5, guard 4, range close, and has a max level of 10.
Nice.
Oh, too many things to pick.
Well, you mostly want to focus on like the attack powers. So, like for Baylor, Black Hammer would probably be a good one to pick for the beginning. White Heat, Black Hammer. Oh yeah.